Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we are live.
Yeah.
Lost somebody. What the fuck is up, Scott? How are you?
Hey man, how's it going? You're
Good.
doing good. Ready to chat it up for a couple hours, maybe 3. You can hang.
Yeah.
You can hang, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. So did you watch anything cool this week?
I went and I saw Dune for the second time
Mm-hmm.
in IMAX, which is I honestly the experience was not diminished at all. It was a great. Honestly, it's one of the better films I've seen. I would put it on par. It has a different type of feel to it, but as far as the quality,
What the shit? Sorry about that. I apologize, guys. I got booted out.
Sorry, man.
That was weird. Anyway, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead. What were you saying?
Nah, you're good. The quality of Dune 2 is, I would say, the quality is better than Endgame. It doesn't. Endgame had a payoff to it that certainly elevated it above or in a different way than most movies, but Dune 2 is just cinematically it is a far better film. And
nice.
So I saw that this week, and then I caught up on Bad Batch season 3.
Oh man, I gotta finish Bad Batch season 2. I haven't even finished season 2 yet.
I had a rough time getting through season 1. It was not as good as but season 2 and season 3 have been. It's just kind of they stepped up their game each season.
Well, season 1 had a lot of like episodes that were kind of like, to me, I felt like they were fluff. I don't know. I felt like they were, sure. They just, they were like these silly ones that just didn't need to be there, you know. But season 2, as far as I got through it, seemed to be pretty good. I was enjoying it. I think I've got about 4 or 5 more episodes to watch in season 2.
I actually haven't even checked that out at all.
Well, Bad Batch?
Yeah.
It's all right, man. It's pretty good. I liked it. I think I just enjoyed it because there is this like time period between like Revenge of the Sith and like, and like maybe the beginning of Rebels, or something, where it's like, or even leading up to Obi-Wan, where the Kenobi show or whatever. There's this like span of time where you can, we don't know, we know what happened with the Empire, but seeing how it happened and what was and how things were getting changed, and how like Palpatine was like getting rid of motherfuckers. It was like he was getting rid of like loose ends, and shit like that, and this that kind of stuff. I don't know. I liked it because it was like, I like that guy. It's filling in the gaps in the story, I guess, for me,
Well, that's what the latter half of season 2 and season 3 is for Bad Batch. It is spanning the gap between the so
which is cool, It's like that kind of, and then the characters in Bad Batch 2 are I kind of like a lot of them. I mean, the little kid annoys me, but whatever.
She's way better in the end of season 2 and season 2.
And actually, so far in season 2, what I've seen of it, she's better than she was in season 1.
I would say you come to care for her. It's the same arc that this one took, I would say.
Yeah.
From the Clone Wars.
So cool.
Yes, in the sense that in the first season she irritated everybody, but everybody came to love her throughout the series, and I think that's a large part of what Omega is.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, she's definitely a lot more tolerable than, in season 1. Season 1, I was like, I kept wishing death upon her.
And I would say there's a lot of people who are really disgruntled with Star Wars right now, and of that bunch that has watched Bad Batch, I haven't seen a single person say they didn't like it in season 2, season 3. So
that's true. There are a lot of people disgruntled against Star Wars right now.
Well,
Hating
I'll
on it
tell
like
you,
a
that
motherfucker.
Acolyte trailer looked fucking awesome.
I think so too, man. But believe it or not, there's people fucking the idiot YouTubers out there. There's a lot of YouTubers that are pissing on the fucking trailer we saw for it. I'm like, how can you piss on the trailer? What are you
Yeah.
crazy? It looks badass, man. No
It's
way.
pretty much like it's very polarizing. You got the people who go, "This is everything I wanted in Star Wars: lightsabers, Jedi's, etc."
Yeah.
And then you got the other people who are like, it's just more, like.
Well, this is going to focus on a lot more of that of the whole, of the Jedi, or in a different time, rather. Now it is an older story, but it's okay. That's probably when the Jedi were at their strongest too, and at
I'd
their
say there was one point in the trailer that kind of took me out of it, and that was seeing Carrie Ann Moss do a very Matrix move with the Jedi, where the other Jedi kind of like pushed back and then stopped, like slid back. It felt very Matrixy, and I was like, hey, I don't need
bit,
that.
but that's just the Jedi. They can do crazy shit like that without being in the Matrix. Yeah.
You aren't wrong.
I don't. Yeah, I never, man. To me, that was my issue with the prequel trilogy, was that I felt like the way the Jedi were, like at times I felt like the Jedi didn't like show off enough of their abilities. I was like, God damn, come on, man! I want to see these motherfuckers do some crazy shit. Let's go.
And like they consider that the downfall, the end of the Jedi. Like they consider that their low point. What we were seeing in the prequel.
I think you're right, and maybe that's why they kind of didn't really. I think they went out, and that in the prequel trilogy, I think he went out of his way to make the Jedi, come across as they're on a downslope right now. They're weak. They're not what they should be. And again, when during the time period that Acolyte, I think, takes place, is when the Jedi very much were pretty badass. And
I'm from what they're saying, it's supposed to be like High Republic shit. So
that sounds good. That sounds really good. Then, all right, maybe before Yoda. I hope. I really don't need Yoda in it.
I think it is before Yoda, because I think High Republic isn't it? It's
not High Republic
several hundred years before.
Yeah, before Yoda. Like, I know Yoda came around at
not the Grandmaster yet.
So yeah, he wasn't a Grandmaster. He was just he was a little Grogu.
He was a little grub Jedi.
Yeah.
Talking about Carrie Ann Moss and the Matrix, I can't think of a bigger letdown between episode 1 between a movie and its sequel than
Matrix
than the Matrix.
I've only watched the first one. I've never seen the sequels.
It's probably a good place to stop.
I've only seen the first. I liked the first one. I liked the first one a lot.
I like what they were ripped off of, so I watched them all. It kind of like got more towards the ideas that they ripped off of, the farther along they've gone.
Which doesn't bode well, since the farther along they've gone, the less good they've been.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Like the thing is like what I'm talking about is The Invisibles. It's a series by that guy we were talking about last week, Grant Morrison.
Yeah.
And like some things in comics I think are still unfilmable, no matter how far we've come. With
right
and shit. I think there's just some sequences that are still unfilmable.
You may be right, because there's probably some things, if you try to do it, it just would be a complete fit. It wouldn't be as cool as it should be. What
are you talking about, Nick? Give me an example.
Okay, have you read Watchmen by chance?
I haven't read it. No, saw the movie.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna use. Excuse me. That's what I was gonna use as an example.
Is
Like,
it some scene with or some panel
yeah,
with
some
Manhattan in it?
Hulu nuclear science bullshit. Trying to think of something else.
Just because I haven't, and likely, I mean, a lot of these things I've not read because I'm not a comics person. But for anybody who might watch this,
I will tell you.
I'd name the scene.
I will tell you something that I haven't been pleased with that they took from that was a comic book.
Ooh,
and they made it
hold
into
on,
a
I figured
movie.
it out just because looking back at your stuff, Transformers, I don't think that they're yet they can do a Unicron eating a planet properly.
No, and definitely not. And
so, like, there's certain things like that they just can't get exactly right just yet.
I also like I think of like a character that I really loved in comics. I really loved Ghost Rider, right? And when I watched that Ghost Rider movie, now don't go wrong, I'm not hating on the movie. I thought it was okay for what they did, right? For what they had to work with at the time, and he come on, they had the man himself playing,
Mr. Cage.
Yeah,
Mr. Cage.
I mean, everyone loves, right? I mean, everyone loves Nikki, So, and I was like, okay, and it was all right. It was okay, but to me, I still felt like maybe it was because the technology just wasn't there yet. I don't know. It just didn't do the comic book justice. Yeah, it just didn't do it for me. It didn't, and they never did the comic book justice.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. either.
Yep, I agree. Same thing. That was another failure. Yep, with Robbie Reyes. Yeah.
Speaking of Nick Cage, I need to watch Con Air again.
That's actually a good movie. I love that
movie. I just saw. Sorry, I was clearing my throat.
That's all right.
I just saw a thing. I guess Variety does a bunch of interviews with people where they talk about like their, best characters, and they did one with Malkovich talking about his dude.
I saw the same thing. Yeah, that's why I want to see Con Air again. Yeah, but it's not Variety, is it? It's GQ.
Oh, probably, yeah.
GQ. GQ did, okay.
Yeah, they got, like a John Malkovich, reviews his most iconic roles. That's kind of like the time.
Yep. Exactly.
That's pretty fucking cool, actually. Nice.
There's quite a few of them.
Malkovich is just a weird dude.
Pay that man his money.
Man in the Iron Mask.
He was good.
Yeah.
Yes.
I used to play this.
You would have thought he would have been a villain in that shit.
Yeah, but instead he was Athos. We used to play a game that's called the movie game, and it was effectively like it's like a game to play in a car or on a trip or something, hanging out with people. But effectively, somebody names a movie, and then somebody names an actor in that movie, and then you either name another movie that actor has played in, or another actor in the movie that was named. And effectively, it goes around, and then if you get somebody in a hole where they can't name it, they're out, and then you whittle it down to the last player. It's a fun game, but it helped me to kind of like know a lot of the like very pocket niche movies that some of these actors have been in, and I would call a Man in the Iron Mask for John Malkovich one of them.
I thought he was really good in that movie. I like them. I like that movie probably too. So that helps. But
do you remember the other actors in?
Oh
God, Man in the Iron Mask.
Yeah, because it was them older, and I remember Malkovich. I'm trying to think of who else was
Jesus.
Played the other guy, the other fucking
Jeremy Irons was Aramis.
Yeah.
It was Jeremy Irons. Okay, it was okay. All right.
Some French dude that I can't remember played Porthos, and then
he played D'Artagnan.
Leonardo DiCaprio played.
He played the king, right? And then the king's brother that was in the Iron Mask.
Yep.
And then D'Artagnan, who they kind of let it.
6 degrees of Kevin Bacon.
Yeah.
It is. It kind of gets you that way. Sounds like 6 degrees. Oh yeah.
You find out that D'Artagnan actually like banged the queen, and and that the king the king was actually his kid.
The cast from those two movies, like the Three Musketeers, the Disney one, and that Man in the Iron Mask, like go together so well that it meshes in my brain like it's one movie.
Do you remember who played? Do you remember who played Porthos in the Disney Three Musketeers?
Platt.
Oliver Platt, that's right. And D'Artagnan?
D'Artagnan was Charlie Sheen.
Nope.
Charlie Sheen was Aramis, and it was
Chris O'Donnell. Sorry,
Chris O'Donnell. That's right.
And wasn't Keith Sullivan in that?
Keith Sullivan was Athos.
Athos, that's it. Okay, I don't remember which one he fucking was. Jesus Christ, dude! I kind of can see what you mean, though. Yeah, where I can see where you in your mind you could be like, yeah, they could run together because like they could almost be like one's earlier and then a sequel to the other, Yeah,
you could definitely.
But
Rebecca De Mornay was in that Disney one.
That's right. She was, yeah.
She was Athos's love interest.
Yep. Little Hoppy said, "Hey, man."
Well, man. There was that line and she had it in a trailer. He said something. He said something like, "One, just one note from my voice, and you'll be talking to God." And she said she's got a knife to his balls, and she's like, "One flick of my wrist will change your religion."
Nice. Hell yeah.
That's a woman who kind of disappeared from screen. Rebecca De Mornay.
Yeah.
I couldn't name another movie she was in right now. Might be because I'm too full pours into my bourbon, but
what bourbon are you doing tonight?
Oh, Basil Hayden red cask. Yeah. Kind of my favorite right now.
Oh man.
I've been looking for that Burning Chair that you've been talking about, but I haven't seen it in any of my local liquor stores.
Yeah, the only place I saw it was that website, Johnny Drinks.
Even when I was out in DC, I was I was looking for it and didn't see it out there either.
I haven't.
I watched. By the way, speaking of Disney, I watched that X-Men '97 or the new. Is it?
Yeah.
The '90s X-Men.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like new episode. I don't. I like it actually, but it's interesting because it's like they're trying to do old school like animation. Mm-hmm. But it's not. But you can tell it's not. But it's like they're trying to make it look like old school animation.
I don't have any connection to the original, but the guys that were talking last night were saying that it was pretty well received. So
I kind of liked it. I thought it was pretty good. I mean, I know some of the I heard some people complaining about some of the voice actors.
Yeah,
and I get that. I get that. It's kind of. Yeah, I mean, there's a few on the some of the voices. I'm kind of like, God damn, dude, really?
Well, I don't nerd in that way, but I have plenty of other ways that I nerd, but I don't nerd in the whole voice actor.
No, I understand.
Well, the thing is really weird. Like Wolverine sounded bad in the trailers.
Yeah,
he sounded really bad in the trailers, and in the actual cartoon, he's one of the better ones.
Okay, so I thought Wolverine was fine. I didn't have that big an issue with him. He was
but you go through and you listen, like that first scene, the first action. I'm not gonna gonna try not to spoil it as much as we can because
right.
this week.
Yeah, I've only watched episode 1 and 2. I don't think I've
That's
watched the
all
third one.
that's out right now.
Oh, they haven't put a third episode out yet?
Not yet. It's
Okay.
the first 2, and then it's gonna be each week. But like that first action scene with Storm, like you hear it, like they're restricting because, like, you know, her voice goes up, but whatever graphic equalizer they're using stays here while her voice goes past it.
It's weird.
You understand what I mean? And
yeah, I do.
And then, like, if you go back and you listen to like the one scene that Beast's in, his voice is all like tinny and robot-y and shit. And then Rogue's voice is the worst.
Well, Rogue is the one that I think they tried to really. I think maybe they tried too hard to make her sound like the same person who voiced her in the old school '90s one. I think they tried too hard to make Rogue sound like that.
If I remember correctly, the guys were talking last night. It's the same person.
Is it really?
Most of them are. I just didn't know.
It's the same voice actor.
But if you're still in the chat, it wasn't it Rogue that the voice actor was the same.
That's amazing. Then maybe her voice has changed a lot since she got older. I mean, she's obviously almost 30 years older.
2 packs a day.
Yeah, right. So it just sounded a bit different.
He says it's the same voice actors.
Yeah, it sounded like way different to me. So if it's her, it's like, damn, dude. But it sounded like different. But at the same time, it sounded like I thought it was a different voice actor trying to be like the original voice actor a lot. You know, trying to do that. You know, copy the voice almost.
See,
so I guess it makes sense.
I think some of our issue as older, pop culture, comics, such and such fans is that we have this original stuff to reference.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't, if it's not on par in our way, in like the nostalgic way,
right?
We tend to. I'm just hypothesizing here. I'm not making a declaration. This is it. I just think I wonder if we don't give it enough of a shake, if you will.
I mean, you might be right. Maybe we're too quick to be we were a little too judgmental, because we are going by an original.
For me, like, yeah, when you talk about in the '90s, like, I'm gonna say Gargoyles because that's my shit. But to be objective about it, those were probably the two of the biggest fucking cartoons in the '90s, Batman and that.
Yeah, Batman the animated
I wouldn't know,
series
man. I was
unreal.
popping out baby. I wasn't popping out babies. My wife was popping out babies, though.
Well, that's what happens when you do a continuation. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fair. It's fair.
They pissed everybody off with fucking He-Man too.
Well, the first one, but the second one was great. The second season was great.
Yeah.
I thought so. I liked it.
Yeah. I was one of the few that actually liked both.
Well,
yeah, I mean, there's a few of you crazy people out there. You and Eric B actually agree on that one, and you know.
No, I
still like you guys.
I think I liked some stuff they did, but there was some things that bothered me. I'm not gonna lie. I think the way it was.
It's like having a Transformers show without the Transformers. That's what He-Man.
That's kind of what
first season was.
Yes, that's true. But then we had to know that, like in my mind, I knew He-Man was coming back. You can't kill He-Man off and get rid of him for good. Like, I knew he was gonna come back. I just knew it.
And then the person that they concentrated on was so toxic. I mean, you know, there's you got to be pretty toxic. I'm not going to go there. It's a cartoon, but
I know.
She was toxic.
Well, no, but I think that's because of the way they wrote her. It's all about trying to empower a female, right? I get it, but it's like, and I understand. I'm okay with that. I'm all right. I'm fine with female empowerment.
You can empower her and not make her a whiny bitch.
Yeah, not just that, but you can also empower her without like taking the manliness of every male character on the show away. You know, I feel like through empowering her, they almost like emasculated a lot of the other characters in the show, and I was like, oh god, man,
Coming back to Dune 2, I would say, and again, I don't think either of you have seen it, right?
No, I haven't seen Dune 2 yet, but I'm going to see it.
What I would say is that they handled Chani in exactly the way that they should to make an ultra strong female character, but not at the expense of the male character.
And you hit the nail on the head right there. That's what it was. That's what they fucked up on the He-Man. I felt like they tried to fix it, but it was but I feel like the damage was done for a lot of people, and
it's like they try to overcompensate. It's not necessary.
True.
But it's hard to stick that landing. I think a lot of people have a hard time coming up the middle on stuff.
Well, yeah, because if you don't do it enough in one way, you're going to get criticism from this side. Yeah. If you don't do it enough the other way, you're going to get criticism on this side. It's really hard. I do feel like they I liked this. Remember that was broken into like 5 episodes, right, for each half, right? And then
the first one,
I liked the second 5 better than I did the first 5.
Yeah,
and that's because maybe that's because He-Man, Prince Adam.
I liked all of it. Like, to be honest, I didn't find it that egregious.
Well, I didn't. It's not that I didn't like it. I just liked the second 5 better than the first 5. Yeah. But you didn't. So you didn't have an issue with what they did with Tila at all?
Well, they made her a ball buster for no reason.
That's kind of what I mean. I felt like they made her.
No, I definitely have problems with the way that Tila was portrayed, and I have problems with how they diminished male characters in order to make Tila and Andra the bee's knees.
True, absolutely.
I understand that happened, and I saw that.
Yeah, right.
You be old, man. You be old. You using bee's knees? You be old.
Yeah. But I still liked enough of the story in the first half that it did.
No. And actually, I kind of dug the story too.
Yeah. And see, like that's one of the things with X-Men, I think, is that like going back, like a lot of people you had problems with the animation.
Well, I thought that I had problems with it. I just think it's weird looking to me. I find it to be a little odd, but I
what I wanted.
Yeah, but when I was by the second episode, I got used to it though.
Yeah.
But it's it's I think it's like that whenever they try to create something that's in a sense sort of make it look retro.
Yeah.
And it's like, basically, okay, I can appreciate it.
The original art style and added cell shading over it.
Right. And then it's cool. That's all right. I appreciate the attempt. How about that? That's what I'll say. Like I kind of appreciate that they did that.
I've heard those technical complaints, the sound and the animation.
Yeah.
I haven't
for X-Men 97.
I was
for X-Men 97 or Motu?
Yeah, X-Men 97.
Okay.
Like I hit myself in the eye with a hairbrush yesterday, so I haven't been paying attention to the chats as much as usual. But I haven't heard anything about the story for X-Men 97 like being a problem.
No, so far I like it.
Yeah, like I said, it's for the people who've seen both. It seemed to be pretty positively received. Those nerds that get on live.
Yeah, like I said, for anyone, I don't want to say anything about it because I know you haven't seen it yet. But I kind of like the direction they're going in.
Yeah, and we've seen Morph already.
Yes. Which I like Morph.
Morph smacked in the face with anything with Morph.
Yeah, Morph is kind of cool.
Yeah, I think.
I don't even know who that is. So.
Huh?
I don't even know who that is.
You don't know who Morph is?
I think we'll get off this in a second, Scott. But I just wanted to say, like, I think, like, so far how they've handled Morph is how they're going to handle Morph. You know,
Yeah.
he's going to shift into whatever he wants to shift into.
Sure. Whether it be
the same way with Mystique.
Yeah.
So no big deal.
I liked when he was shifting into certain.
Yeah.
I thought it was cool.
I thought it was cool because like they don't usually show that shit in a combat situation. Like
Right.
Like what they would actually do in combat, and it made sense. I'd morph into the biggest and baddest motherfuckers I could think of to, fight somebody.
Sounds like
awesome.
Morph is a mass shifter.
Yeah. He
he can
find my own way to relate.
Yeah, he can turn into other he could turn into other people. There you go. That's the way to put it.
Like a Mystique.
Yeah.
Yeah. Only, well, yes and no.
How does he differentiate?
Well, with Mystique, it's appearance only, though. With Morph, I think if he turns into a character, I think he takes on their powers too.
Yeah, I forget. Jesus Christ.
I think he does. I think
he's like a more powerful Mystique then.
Yeah, I think he can morph their abilities too. Yeah, okay. I think he can. Mystique, I don't think could do a mutant's abilities. She could look like a mutant, look like him and everything, but not. If a dude shot laser beams out of his eyes, she wasn't gonna be able to do that.
Either of you see the new Ghostbusters yet?
Not yet. Is it good?
I haven't seen it, but the reviews from the audience scores are really good. They're like 84, 85%, but the actual reviews are pretty bad. Then they're trying to cram too much into it. And,
well, you know what?
The story relies too much on the nostalgia.
Well, didn't they say that about the other? The recent was Afterlife, right? Ghostbusters.
No, I think Afterlife they were pretty satisfied with that. It appropriately gave a nod to the originals without depending on them for all of the.
That's what I heard from most people. I didn't hear anything negative about Afterlife.
I don't know. You have to remember too. The original Ghostbusters movie back in the day wasn't exactly critically acclaimed. It took a while for people to come around to it. So,
and the Ghostbusters,
1984, man. I saw Sigourney Weaver
I'm 49.
levitating off
I'm
that
49,
bed, and I was done. I was like, whoa.
I'll be 50 in June.
So you're 5 years older than me.
Yeah, I don't like so Ghostbusters.
Maybe, but see, when I saw Ghostbusters when I was probably 5, 6, and I loved it.
I loved it too. I thought it was great. I just mean a lot of I think if you could appreciate the comedians that were in it and appreciate the comedy in it, and you're a little kid, it's kind of awesome. They're shooting.
I mean, I was 11. I was 11. You were 10. Because if you're turning 50 this year, then you're 1 year younger than I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're born in 74?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So.
Now, do you see that depression coming into Russ's face?
I know. I don't. I really don't like remembering when the fuck I was born. I try to whenever people get on my shit about I'm about to turn 50. I look at them and go, but I don't act like I'm 50. So
I don't know if any of us to act like we're 50.
Yeah, I don't even know how a person that's about to turn 50 is supposed to act. So I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh man, shit.
I got plenty of stuff in my life that's responsible, and then I got plenty in my life that's irresponsible.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Yeah. Well,
those kids.
Hey, I raised 2 kids to be, somewhat okay
Semi-productive.
adults. Somewhat. I
still
mean, well, one of them
raising
is.
one.
One of them is. The other one's kind of like, I don't know. It's a lazy piece of spam.
He's got off spring break now.
He's off spring break now?
Yeah. Fucking doesn't go back till like the 1st or some shit.
No shit, really? Yeah. Anna was telling me she thought that a lot of areas were doing spring break. And I don't know.
I don't remember getting a spring break as a high school kid.
Yeah, they had spring break when we were kids.
Yeah, I did. I remember, but I thought spring break was later. I thought it was in April. I didn't think it was in March. I always thought spring break was around Easter. That's what I remember. That's what I remember.
So the way I remember it is March was spring break, April was homecoming, May was graduation.
Well, I guess so.
Or not homecoming. Sorry, prom.
Yeah, prom.
Homecoming was in the fall, right?
Yeah, homecoming is in toward the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
I remember because we had to prep for that fucking homecoming game, and it was always like three, like the third or fourth game of the season for us. So it was like, I don't know, it was a big deal made about it. They at my school we would do like this thing called the Titan Expo, right? Like the day of, it was like a big party during the day, right? And then homecoming was that night. So you would and we would already have played the homecoming game usually by that point. So it was, I don't know. It was TC made a big deal about homecoming. It was a huge thing for them. I remember TC Williams.
Oh, you were in TC Williams?
Yeah.
Isn't that the one with the Titans?
Yes.
Like, remember the Titans?
Yep, I was a Titan.
It's a legacy, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, I had to. That team that they did that movie on is like a legendary team, man.
Yeah.
Our school, it's like I've met a bunch of them in person, and
I'm gonna go ahead and pop this off. You guys talk to E in the chat and go ahead and get a hangout going. My eye is fucking killing me, and I can't
all right, man.
fucking concentrate to try and like steer a conversation or anything.
I told you, I thought you were going to man. I didn't feel that's fine, dude.
Let's transfer to a Google Hangout.
Yeah. Well, maybe.
I'll get,
all right.
Get a hangout for you. I'm gonna go flush this thing out.
All right, go. No problem, man.